Florence, Italy, Firenze is a beautiful and historically significant city renowned for its rich cultural heritage, art, architecture, and contributions to the Renaissance movement. It is the capital of the Tuscany region and is situated in central Italy along the Arno River. Hi, adventure seekers and globetrotters. We are
the Destination Dibbles.
And today, let's take you to our favorite Italian destination, the cradle of the Renaissance, Firenze. It's really hard to describe in such a short video what it is about the vibe and allure of Florence that made us fall so deeply in love with it. From the gorgeous Duomo to the vibrant piazzas that always seem to have music playing and joyous laughter, to the historical artwork, it's a place that will make you feel like visiting over and over. Firenze is a timeless city. It's Sinatra playing and sneaking a romantic kiss in with the love of your life as you watch the carousel go around and round, like Kimberly and I did during our first adventure here in this magical place some 13 years ago. We arrived in Florence via train from Rome, and since all of our belongings were packed in backpacks, we were able to set out on foot to find the Airbnb accommodations, which was centrally located near the Duomo of Florence. This was probably our longest hike on foot with our packs, but was completely doable because the scenery and excitement of being back here was enough to get our adrenaline flowing. The Airbnb was our first spending splurge, as it was located on the top floor of an old building with a lone rooftop terrace showcasing an unmatched view of the Duomo and the rest of Florence. When we first arrived, we just spent a bit of time decompressing from our train trip and enjoying the view outside in the sunshine. The terrace was all ours and had a panoramic view of the Duomo and the Palazzo Vecchio. The splurge was well earned and something Kimberly really deserved for putting this vacation together for us. Re-energized, we started the adventures in Florence, showing our little lady the city we fell so madly in love with over a decade earlier. Since we were so close, we walked by the baptistry and the Florence Cathedral so that Taylor Grace could see it in person for the first time up close. Florence would not be Florence without this towering and magnificent structure that can be seen from all points of the city. Just off the piazza, we also found a Lindt chocolate store with a cafe in the back. Lindor is one of our favorite chocolates, so we spent some time picking out sweets and also ordered some cafes that were as pretty as they were delicious. A chocolate paradise has been discovered. Next, we headed towards the Ponte Vecchio bridge to explore the other side of the Arno River that flows through Florence. The Ponte Vecchio is the most iconic and famous bridge in Florence. Its name translates to Old Bridge in English, and it holds a significant historical and architectural importance. The bridge's origins date back to Roman times, but it underwent several reconstructions over the centuries due to flooding and other factors. The current bridge, which dates back to the 14th century, has survived since then with minor modifications. The Ponte Vecchio has a strong connection to the Medici family, who ruled Florence and were patrons of the arts during the Renaissance. In the 16th century, the Medici Duke Cosimo I decreed that only goldsmiths and jewelers would be allowed to operate on the bridge, evicting the butchers and other merchants who had occupied it previously. This decision was likely influenced by his wife's desire to enjoy a more pleasant view of the Pitti Palace. We had saved an Enoteca receipt from our 2010 trip. The wine bar we had visited was called Le Volpi e l'Uva, and we decided to search and stop in for an afternoon drink. We found it and enjoyed the Chianti wine and a salami and cheese plate so much that we ended up staying longer and ordering seconds. Taylor Grace always has room for gelato, and we always have room for espresso, so we got a pick-me-up at Cafe Maioli. It was a good thing we did re-energize because we made a last-minute, spontaneous Dibble family decision to walk up to the Piazzale Michelangelo to catch the sun setting over Florence. Place the mandatory photo op pictures here. Piazzale Michelangelo is situated on a hilltop on the south bank of the Arno River, just outside the city center of Florence. It offers one of the best vantage points to enjoy sweeping views of the cityscape, the Arno River, and the surrounding Tuscan countryside. The piazza is named after the renowned Renaissance artist Michelangelo Buonarroti. At the center of the square, there is a bronze replica of Michelangelo's famous statue of David. The replica serves as a homage to the artist and his incredible contributions to art and culture. We always approach this piazza from the standard route through the San Nicola neighborhood. But for this visit, we decided to try a more direct, steeper approach that we had watched from other travel bloggers by passing through the Porta San Miniato gate, up Via del Monte al Croce, and came across from the Basilica de San Miniato. It was a fun detour and put us above the piazza. Just remember, this is a steep hike. After a quick photo op at the beautiful Romanesque church, we arrived at the Piazza Michelangelo. The staircase was already filled with people watching a duo perform acoustic songs, so we took a spot near the top of the steps and really took in the evening, people watching, listening to music, and enjoying some wine. Once the acoustic performers finished, another musician immediately started up behind us with his electric guitar strumming Pink Floyd, which really got the crowd's attention. Despite it being a cloudy evening and the sunset being a little underwhelming, the evening was filled with laughing, dancing, and conversing with other tourists from around the world. This was probably our favorite evening in our entire trip. The bottles of Chianti available at the food truck in the piazza were a nice touch before we headed off to have dinner with newfound friends at the bottom of the piazza near the Ponte Vecchio. There's nothing like free music and singing with hundreds of your closest strangers from across the globe. Dinner on this night was a wonderful experience with our newfound friends from South Korea. We still hear from the boys today on our social media and plan to visit Korea to see them in the future. The next morning, we had 9:30 tickets to climb to the top of the Duomo of Florence, officially known as the Cathedral de Santa Maria del Fiore. Designed by the Italian architect Filippo Brunelleschi, the dome is one of the most iconic and innovative structures of the Renaissance era. Construction of the dome began in 1420 and was completed in 1436, several years after Brunelleschi's death. The project required intricate planning, engineering expertise, and the development of specialized construction techniques. The climb to the top of Brunelleschi's dome involves ascending a total of 463 steps. The climb takes you through narrow staircases, passages, and galleries, providing a unique perspective of the dome's construction and the interior of the cathedral. The effort is rewarding with breathtaking panoramic views of the city of Florence from the top. The climb might be physically demanding for some, but the payoff is well worth it. During the climb, you will be rewarded with one of the coolest views inside a cathedral we've ever seen. You really start to get an idea of what it might have been like for the artist painting the frescoes on the ceilings. It's also a nice reprieve from the continuous climbing. Taylor Grace wasn't a fan of this portion of the climb and wanted to get back to the staircase as soon as we could. She recovered like a champion and really admired the artwork. We reached the top, and the view of Florence and the surrounding Tuscan countryside was just as breathtaking as the last time we visited here. You can walk around, take all the photos you can, and even sit for a while and just take in the views. There's a time limit at the top of 30 minutes that we didn't remember from our last vacation for your information. After climbing down, we took a stroll through the baptistry, which was having some repairs done, since it was included in our ticket. Our ticket also included a climb to the top of Giotto's bell tower, but we weren't able to squeeze it in during this trip. In the past, we haven't been able to complete this adventure either and plan to climb this iconic monument first on our return trip in 2024. Taylor Grace's one request is to travel back to Florence. Fast forward, walking through the incredible streets of this enchanted city, where we made our way across the Ponte Vecchio again to Gusto Pizza, where we ordered pizzas with mortadella and pesto. It was a great experience, but had a newer vibe to it versus what we were looking for in Firenze. Still a delicious dining experience for all of us, and the service was wonderfully laid back. That afternoon, we had to venture over to the Florence airport so that we could pick up our rental car. The next 2 days were jam-packed with travel to new undiscovered cities, even though we planned to lay our heads in the base camp of Florence at night. We explored Bagnoregio, Siena, San Gimignano, and the Cinque Terre. Please make sure to check out these awesome travel adventure videos for each of these cities in our Destination Dibbles Italy travel guide playlist within our channel here. We picked up the rental car, stepped on the gas, and stopped at the restaurant between the parking garage and our Airbnb called Corte dei Piazzi, where we enjoyed pasta, roasted potatoes, and amazing creme brulee dessert. Florence is our favorite city in Italy, and we always leave it already anxiously awaiting our next return. See you in May 2024, Firenze.
ciao, ciao.
E seppellire lassù in montagna sotto l'ombra di un bel fiore. E le genti che passeranno, bella ciao, bella ciao, bella ciao, ciao, ciao. E le genti che passeranno ti diranno che bel fiore. E questo è il fiore del partigiano. Oh bella ciao, bella ciao, bella ciao, ciao, ciao. E questo è il fiore del partigiano morto per la libertà.
We hope you enjoyed our content. Please like, comment, subscribe, and share. Bye, everybody.